Lawrence, how may I help you?
Who do I talk to about reserving your church for a wedding?
Do you know the date?
I'm not sure. I'm trying to find a church that does same-sex marriages, so I need to find one before I set the date.
This would not be the church. You asked me the question, do we do that here in this church? No, we don't.
But I can get married to my boyfriend there?
Yeah, you can be married with your girlfriend, but you need to...
No, my boyfriend. I'm gay.
Oh, forget it, my friend.
You can call and talk to a pastor, but there's not one here right at the moment. You can try tomorrow.
I'm just trying to find a place to get married.
We do not endorse same-sex marriages.
Okay.
Okay?
Thanks.
It's hard enough to find a church that will hold a gay marriage. Now the government is making it even harder. This is an explosive issue that everybody has an opinion about.
What do you think the government's opinion should be about same-sex marriages?
If I don't have an opinion, it'd be tough to see what theirs is going to be.
Oh.
Except that guy. We went to Minnesota's capital to see what's going on with gay marriages and the separation between church and state. Even though our capital looks a lot like a church, the United States Constitution clearly says in the First Amendment that, quote, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, unquote. But recently, many states like Ohio and Virginia have passed amendments banning same-sex marriages, and this issue will probably come to Minnesota in 2006. I sat down with Reverend Paul Eknes Tucker, the senior pastor at All God's Children, a predominantly gay and lesbian community church, to learn a little more about this issue.
Many people misunderstand what this amendment's about. They're also used by unscrupulous politicians to challenge other kinds of privacy issues and other kinds of personal rights issues that people don't have any concept they're going to be used for. It's a very deadly and dangerous game we're in.
What do you think about same-sex marriages?
Well, I think they're a good thing.
Well, basically, the folks who are proposing this legislation say they just simply want to define marriage as it has always been, that marriage has always been between one man and one woman. But the reality is that's not true. Even if you go back, and most of these people are Christians, if you go back to the biblical accounts, there were many kinds of biblical marriages. I mean, David had concubines and multiple wives, and we see all sorts of families talked about in the Bible. So to say that marriage has always been defined this way is just simply not true.
People's relationships are their own business, and the government shouldn't be involved in defining people's relationships, and that people should be free to form whatever relationships they want, as long as they're consenting adults.
The other interesting thing is that during the 1950s, our nation went through a similar discussion around interracial marriage. When people, certain states tried to pass constitutional amendments, similar to what we're having now, and many of them passed. Virginia, for example, was one of those, saying that God intended for marriage not to look that way. How did they get that? I mean, what it was simply a weak way, a weak veneer over prejudice. That's what the same thing is now. People are afraid or don't like gay and lesbian people, and so therefore they know that the courts have increasingly voted in fair ways to keep equality based throughout our society, and so they're trying to usurp that by legislating prejudice into the Constitution. Constitutions were never meant to be used to limit rights. Constitutions are always meant to expand people's rights.
There are certain legal rights that people have because they're in a relationship. I think it's fairly discriminatory. I don't think that single people or people in coupled relationships should have special privileges either way. So that if any couple or any two people, for whatever reason, whatever the structure of the relationship is, wants to form a partnership, whether that's sexual or personal, they should be able to have the same rights as anybody else.
they say that this is a way to support families, to make sure families are strong in our country. They are right, they want their families to be strong, but they don't want our families to be strong. So they want to keep our families from having protections like being able to make decisions for our partners in a hospital room, be able to have Social Security benefits given to our partner upon our death, be able to live together in a nursing home without having your property sold out from under you. All of those are marriage rights. Without them, we don't have those protections.
I think, why not?
Okay.
You know, if they're happy, and yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Well, thanks.
My hope is certainly that people will become more accepting or at least tolerant of diversity. You know, the reality is people don't have to believe that gay marriage is right. They just don't need to limit my ability to marry my partner. Their beliefs stop at my life.
This country was founded by strong, important men with strong, important opinions. If you have an opinion about this issue, write to our governor and tell him how you feel. Or you can give him a call.
Good afternoon, Governor Tim Pawlenty's office.
Is Tim there?
Pardon me?
Is Tim there?
If you're trying to reach the governor, he's not available for calls, sir. May I ask you what this is regarding? Perhaps someone else could help you.
Same-sex marriage?
One moment, please.